Hello, and welcome to the show. This is going to be a brief Q&A live stream, and a special hello to Cole and Jay out there. Cole and Jay, I want to thank you very much. Thank you very much. I very much enjoy your show. Um, I have seen almost every episode. Some of them I have not seen the movies for, so I look forward to seeing the movies and then see the discussion for them, which I hope's the format of the show. But some of them actually haven't seen the movies and still watch the discussion anyway. So obviously, there's all these big major podcasts out there and all these different quote unquote mainstream podcast movie discussions and non-mainstream ones that are talked about online stuff. I really feel that your show is quite good, and I would like to see more episodes. And I understand you might be doing, or you're doing the Orson Welles show and some others. But thank you for everyone on my channel for subscribing, for participating, and go ahead and check out Jay and Cole's channel, either Cole Talks Comics or Jay the Stingray's channel, and their the movie Pocket Dimension, I believe. So that's the name of it. I think it's searchable for on YouTube as well. I believe it started out on Jay's channel, and then they've developed so many shows of it. So anyway, Jay or Cole is now mainly on that show. I haven't seen him on the Sausage Factory except for 2 or 3 episodes this year. And hopefully there'll be another Sausage Factory show tonight. One can hope. If not, maybe there'll be some kind of live stream. Last week's was License to Drive, a commentary for that, and that led me to one of the Q&A questions that I got last week. So a lot of people email me questions that they think of after they watch either the Sausage Factory or some of these other shows. So that's good. And the question was, which movie would you most like to, or would you basically not look forward to hate watching, I guess. And I had several answers for that one. So I wanted to thank the individuals that asked me all these questions for this week. And another one I thought that I wouldn't like to have to rewatch and to do a commentary for. Obviously, I said some of them period piece movies because it just kind of take away from the movies more. Um, like Poltergeist or Poltergeist 2, just because I'm not like really a big fan of those movies, and I also won't want to take away from the scares in them. Now Poltergeist 3, on the other hand, that's one of my one of my favorite movies, like straight up. I know I'm crazy. I have a lot of different tastes than most people, but I really do quite like Poltergeist 3. And I didn't really mind the remake or whatever that was several years back now, Poltergeist, starring Sam Rockwell, and I thought that the woman did a okay job, but it's not really in the forefront of my mind who she was at this point. So anyway, like I say, thank you very much, Cole and Jay. I feel that you guys have a very good way of going about it. A lot of information about all the movies on there, and I've sent you some suggestions of some ones to cover in the future. I'll just name some here that I think you'd like to discuss. Doggy, you can come up on the couch. And you're going to get a dog guest here saying thank you too because she enjoys the show. Come on. Come on up and get on your backside. Lie down. Yeah, lie down. Yeah. You want to get you? You say thank you, Joel, or Cole and Jay. What's their names? Cole and Jay. Say thank you, Cole and Jay. We love the show. We enjoy the show. We see when the Joey and Cole show is on and when they discuss Orson Welles. Curly and me like watching Clint Eastwood's movies and discussing which of his directed and starring roles or movies turned out the best. So we're making a video about that soon. But if you want to do a video on the Clint Eastwood movie The Gauntlet, I feel that there's a lot to discuss with that movie. It basically reinvented or helped the buddy cop genre thrive. and it's a movie no one really references. They always reference 48 Hours, etc. So that would be an interesting one, more of a populist choice, of course. And then another one from that era is called Rolling Thunder, and that stars William Devane, Tommy Lee Jones, and a really underrated actress at the time, Linda Haynes. And that's directed by John Flynn, who made Out for Justice. His specialty, of course, is getting really motivated action characters, such as the Nico character in Out for Justice, and also to this large extent, the William Devane character in Rolling Thunder, and Tommy Lee Jones, of course, as well. Highly, highly recommend it. Really looking forward to a little more discussion on that movie. I haven't really ever seen anyone discuss the movie. I know that Quentin Tarantino and others are a huge fan of it, and that Paul Schrader made it, and that it was made for Fox in the late 70s, and they, made a lot of cuts to it, etc. So thank you so much. Don't we just love the movie shows? Yeah, we enjoy all the movie shows, but Cole and Jay, they go really thorough. We enjoy that. So another one I'd suggest maybe the guys could cover on that show. I'd really like to see more people discuss this one. Inherent Vice. It's a couple years back, and obviously critics didn't really understand it. I didn't really understand it when I first saw it, and I don't watch it that much, but I watched it maybe 30 times in the year that it came out, or the year that it came out on DVD. Sort of just trying to break down the movie over and over again into little units. There was really a lot to digest with that movie, book wise, movie wise, etc. Having listened to the audiobook several times now, read the audiobook and listened to or watched the movie, I feel like there's a whole Inherent Vice verse that we could be talking about for cinematic universe. But since it only made 14 million, obviously they'll never go back to that unless Paul Thomas Anderson gets some deal with some streaming service or something like that. So it's kind of a weird glare out here, sorry. But from the ARPANET to all the different counterculture stuff in the movie to about the global heroin trade, that movie's a really interesting one. I would love to hear you guys break down the acting in it, performances, etc. So thanks so much for Cole and Jay. They do a video, the movie Pocket Dimension. You can subscribe. I hope you are already a subscriber to my channel as well. Subscribe to theirs, and hopefully that you like these videos, and we'll do more of them coming forward. I'm going to announce a commentary based on this upcoming Q&A question. You can expect to see the commentary tonight, or possibly tomorrow or Saturday. So within the next day or two, a new commentary will be popping up. And I think I'll try out this commentary because a lot of these ones that are super long movies are harder to do the commentary for. I like when these movies go in and out, and so we're gonna do some action and sci-fi movies, horror ones. I hope you guys like that. I like doing the adventure one of The Mummy the other day, but this is a really cool question. I'm really appreciative of this question. It's from Tyrone in Brooklyn, and Tyrone is a frequent collaborator with me on some television projects in the past, and he has. I'm gonna get back to my other position now. Okay, you can go on your back, Wiggles. Wiggles, Wiggles. Hey, Wiggles, Wiggles. Hey, man, you can go on your backside, Wiggles. Oh, yeah. All right, there's the backside. Yeah. So, they asked very specifically that obviously Death Wish gets a bulk of the attention for Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood. Everyone kind of points to the Dirty Harry movies or the westerns. For Steven Seagal, there's a couple go-to movies, Under Siege, etc. And they're just asking for those three in particular, I guess. Maybe I'll venture into others. Can I name like an underappreciated or under seen classic by them? Well, I mean, classics are all subjective. Thank you so much, Tyson. But Tyrone, excuse me. Yeah, all kind of subjective. But I think I'm not as much of a Death Wish fan, but I guess others are, obviously. So there's such a famous franchise, right? Um, so there are two for Charles Bronson. One of which I decided I think I'm going to try to do a commentary for, and that's Mr. Majestic. 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 Instead of the IC at the end of Majestic, it's a YK. And that's a screenplay by Elmore Leonard. My dog just winked at me. and and it's a really interesting movie. Instead of like when they go back and kill his family, they go and kill a bunch of his melons. He's a melon farmer, you see, watermelon farmer. So this is a very different kind of action movie. I almost feel like Cold Pursuit was kind of going for some angle like this. I didn't even see Cold Pursuit, but I know kind of straddled the line between like a satire or comedy. But there was no real um, major attempt at satire because it's 1973. The genre is still kind of fresh. You get a real earnestness to Mr. Majestic, but as it goes on, as you're describing it, sometimes it seems like it's almost a play on the common tropes of the genre. But I highly recommend it, and if you can get the MGM DVD of it, I'm going to be syncing it up to that copy. I think there's a couple other cuts of the film that exist. You may be able to find something about it online, the film online or on a streaming service. I don't know, but I plan on doing that commentary. So I'd say that's a very, very underrated Charles Bronson movie. And then I would also list Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is currently $27 on DVD, so I don't own it right now. But that's one of the good things about having cable is it doesn't come up infrequently. It's a really good movie. It stars also Carrie Snodgrass, I believe, and Kathleen Woolhoyt. Just do a fantastic job in it. Just seriously, like I don't know why people don't say Murphy's Law was one of the best action movies ever made, but they don't, and it should be up there. And a third honorable mention by him is Assassination. I think that's a really good Charles Bronson movie as well. Moving over to Clint Eastwood, I did a commentary for this film the other day, The Gauntlet. I feel it's one of his more underrated films, acting, directing, pacing, um, it's everything the mule is not, I guess you would say, but also it's a great performance, buddy cop genre, early buddy cop genre entry between Sandra Locke and Clint Eastwood. And obviously, she's not a cop in it, but the way they kind of team up, it works to be, a lot like 48 Hours, I guess you would say. A female and male 48 Hours with a little bit of romance thrown in. So who we got live there? We had someone jump on live for a minute and jump off. You can jump back on if you want. Steven Seagal, obviously probably not on the level of these proud gentlemen, but still a great action star in his own right. You're right, Under Siege does get a bulk of his attention. I would go ahead and say Under Siege 2. Get to know a little bit more about his character. Sure, I didn't like Under Siege 2 when I was, you know, watching movies back in the day and saw it in theaters, but I've since come around on that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the genre. So I would say Under Siege 2. I would say Fire Down Below if you want to see him kind of at his best before he falls off the face of the earth, kind of. I just go from Rambo Raff. I guess there's a lot of the bad movies later. I haven't seen them all. I look forward to watching more of Steven Seagal's later work, honestly. I mean, probably look at Rambo Raff's videos as a guide and just pick out each one that don't suck and watch them. And then watch some of the ones that he ranted about. There's one that he ranted about that I liked, actually. I actually can't remember the title. But so I'll name one more action star since you were seeming to just name action stars. I like Raw Deal of Arnold Schwarzenegger's. That's probably the least discussed movie that he's been in. That was like him top billing in an action movie. I really do quite much like Raw Deal, and I quite much like Eraser. So I quite much think that you should see Eraser and Raw Deal by Arnold as well. Those are some underrated ones by famous action stars that don't get much attention. the movies don't get much attention. And thank you so much for the question. I think I'll take one more Q&A question for now, and looking forward to some good YouTube movie shows tonight. Hopefully there's a Sausage Factory. Hopefully some other stuff I can put out there in the next couple days. And this is a fun question. It's regarding the afterlife, so that's always fun. And this is from Alicia, living in the Chicago area. Well, very, very nice for you. I'm sure it's heating up there and getting to be a nice time of the year. She asks, which depictions of the afterlife do you feel are most effective in movies? Well, that's so cool. Thank you so much. I mean, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, for all the negativity that it seems to get from some people, I don't know why. I think that at least attempted some attempts at showing purgatory and, I guess, heaven and hell. So I'd cite Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I'd cite another movie called Defending Your Life. Doesn't necessarily show heaven or hell, but it shows a place called Judgment City, where you go and watch little videos about your life and then talk to these people that are sort of like judges about whether or not you faced your fear. So that's bar none probably the best depiction of the afterlife ever, because it doesn't even address heaven or hell. It addresses a judging, but in that judgment there's a city, so it's a whole heavenly looking type place, but it's not heaven, and you're staying at different hotels, you're wearing a tupa or whatever, and you're being taken care of because obviously you just died and you're going through some kind of change. I highly recommend the movie Defending Your Life. If you've never seen it, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's an Albert Brooks movie with Meryl Streep from the early 90s. It got very limited release, or very limited publicity, and didn't do very well in theaters. But I think it's become a cult hit. If not, let's try to make it into one. It's definitely one of the more overrated or overlooked movies from Meryl Streep's filmography. Another depiction of the afterlife. I mean, oh God, even though it doesn't really pick afterlife stuff, I like the way it's kind of an eternal movie, for lack of a better word. I like all three of them, of course. So Heaven Can Wait plays with some things about destiny and, what your time, and ultimately if heaven can wait, so there's just a couple. I know that most people probably don't like this one, but there's a one with I actually haven't seen it since back in the day. I'd like to watch the whole thing. It's called Almost an Angel with Paul Hogan. So it was right after the Crocodile Dundee fad. He tried to do a more serious, movie about someone that's almost an angel, I believe, and it didn't really cross over at the box office. He already made one called Lightning Jack after that, which did a little bit better, I think. I do think. So yeah, those are some ones that I really enjoy the depiction of. I hope you can check some of them out. I'll think of some others as well. But Defending Your Life is number one, and I think you'd really enjoy it. Albert Brooks is the voice of one of the fish in the Finding Nemo franchise, so he'll sound very familiar if he doesn't look familiar. And obviously he's made some other really good movies too, so check into his movies. Defending Your Life being the best by far, though. Let me just be very clear about that. It's a very, very, very good movie, very interesting movie, gives people a lot to think about. So yeah, I'll try to do some more discussion or commentary on that movie going forward. And here's one more brief question, and it is from Jim, and he is from San Diego, California. Welcome to San Diego. Thank you for following me down there in San Diego. He says, which person would I like to see Batman play, or who would I want to see play Batman next? Well, given that I'm of the opinion that, I want to see Bradley Cooper be the next James Bond. I don't really care if it's Richard Madden. I'd rather not it be some British dude with no box office appeal again. I would say I'd like Richard Madden to become the next Bruce Wayne. So that's what my choice is at this point. Obviously, there's a lot of other contenders, a lot of other directions it could go. I'd like to see something like that happen. Um, Richard Madden's a much smaller name than some of the other Batmans that have come before it, but it would give the identity of Batman a whole new spin that can be remade again, touched up again. And, obviously, if Bradley Cooper went in talks for the James Bond thing, I would think he'd be a good fit for Bruce Wayne. Just people would freak out about that, but obviously they'd shut their mouth at the end of the day and go watch it because his movies are huge hits. And the combination of it being a DC Batman movie, oh boy, that would be quite good. So Mr. Cooper's got his choice about what movies he wants to do going forward. And I hope he would align himself with a quick franchise move like that. But hey, there's good and bad with selecting a franchise, and whatever franchise he goes with. I'm not talking about spending 15 years. I'm talking about a quick 5-year pop, come out the other end directing and writing prestige pictures for the next 15, 20 years after that, then retire. So anyway, hoping everyone can list some of their picks for who they want to see as the next Batman. I don't really know every one of the candidates out there, so looking forward to seeing. And why not Richard Madden? And why not Michael B. Jordan? Bruce Wayne adopted. I don't know. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. I prefer maybe Michael B. Jordan as Superman or as one of those roles, but we'll have to see going forward. And you guys have a great day out there. Put another commentary and more reviews and discussion coming forward soon. Say bye. Say thanks, Cole and Jay. Oh, say thank you, Cole and Jay, for all the good videos. Bye. Bye. Oh, she's so pretty.